Well, good afternoon to you, and welcome to this shared space that I call the natural connection with a shaman. I'm going to change it from the shaman to a shaman. So, I picked up on disturbances in the energy. And, So, with it coming from multiple sources, I naturally looked into the alignments today. Now, I'm going to get into some astrology, and I want you to keep in mind this is off of zodiacal astrology, which is actually where the planets really are right now. 24 degrees behind Western astrology, because Western astrology never calculated the rotation of the earth and the sun and things like that into their calculations. So if you noticed a lot of chaotic energy or extremely vivid dreams, nightmares, or whatever, I found why. So let's just get into it. I'm going to read through. 5/31/2025 equals 18. The moon card. The moon card in fear represents a release of inner demons you're holding on to. When the moon card represents illusions, it's because you're chasing after fantasies. When the moon card taps into your imagination, this is when you get vivid dreams, visions, etc. What this is all coming from is, are you being easily distracted? A concept of reality beyond understanding, whether for the good, in alignment, or bad, out of alignment, out of balance. 1 + 8 = 9, the Hermit card. This card is about introspection. Quiet the self while you think things over. You may be searching for a truth at all costs. It would be a good time to learn with someone you trust. While doing so, you might want to give up on some distractions that have been pulling on your energy. I always know that when the mentally challenged are screaming in chaos, that energies are off in the solar system, galaxy, and galaxies nearby. There is a lot of illusion on Earth, and the deranged are always in tune with it unknowingly. So I look for deeper reasons. Throughout my life, I've learned to be in calm, even when there is complete hostile chaos surrounding. Knowing there is more to life than what we can see or even understand. A current theme in Earth these days is there is either cult mentality or outsiders, in far more ways than simplistic cult groups. A group of friends can be a cult if one person is seen as above the rest of the group. Politics breed cults by teaching their followers that if they're not with us, they're against us. Propaganda, fear spreading, lies, distortions, passivity, not saying what one feels in order to keep the followers from leaving. It is in times like this we can only remind ourselves all we can control is ourselves. How we react, how we engage or disengage to not feed the nonsense. That's what it wants. An untrained mind is a hostile, chaotic, fear-filled mind holding down others below them, below the water, because they are terrified of drowning in the ocean. The ocean they're afraid of drowning in is their inner insecurities. And that is what cult leaders are really displaying to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. So today, since it's Saturday, we look at Saturn. Saturn and Neptune are in Pisces under Uttara Bhadrapada and are displaying a test of your discipline and self-control over our emotions and behaviors. Warriors can control anger and have inner balance and possess priest-like qualities from spiritual growth. A warrior can tell you more about life, death, loss, overcoming hell, suffering, and rising from the ashes, far more than a gardener or a childlike person who has never had to battle for survival. This is not a comparison, just a fact. You may have had people or groups or media or something attempt to disrupt your inner peace and calm, to seek a reaction from you. Remember, all these things they're trying to do is seek a reaction. Your reaction to these disruptions is their hit of a drug. If you are in alignment, it will have not affected you. If not, today you may be all out of sorts. Saturn and Neptune have brought down the cosmic rains. You may want to take some time alone to tap into your psychic abilities, your inner Kundalini energy, or the chakras. Maturity centers is what the chakras are. Or look over your dream journals for the past 3 months. Have you picked up on secrets, cunning, or gossip, or any opposition in your life? Now's the time to remove it, trusting you understand it is affecting your inner peace. Have you felt lazy, careless, or irresponsible lately? It is because you have picked up on the discord, and it is draining you. What is happening is these secret gossip groups live in addiction, sex, drugs, feeding off of people pleasers, obsessions, attention. Maybe you do not display these addictive traits and it bothers them. None of this matters. You are a warrior and patience is your sharpest tool. Cut the supply and be done with it. Addiction always leads to some form of death, whether ego, withdrawal, or overdose. But the high cannot continue without your supply or attention. And yes, people do get high off of attention, just as others do off of heroin. So, what I gather from that is the mirror of our reality, or rather us mirroring the energy in the sky, is calling you to do a cull. A cull is like when you're fishing for a tournament and you have your 5 fish limit, but you're checking which ones are way more than the others. You may have some that don't weigh as much as the new one you catch. Cull energy, right? This means to take a toll on what you're experiencing in life, where you give your energy, what takes from your energy, what supplies, what is in harmony, and what is in discord. This is what the energy of our solar system is reflecting here on Earth. It's a time of discord, you know. If you simply observe society as a whole over the past 20 or so years, many things are used as propaganda, such as spiritual practice. Rather than something that's always been, it's become monetized, commercialized, a theme song, an anthem, right? And what happens in times like this is a mass manipulation to create differences of opinion, but also a spiritual wave also awakens some, seeing through the illusion of separatism and looking above and beyond, seeing the influence that creates discord, helps you live a calmer life, take a calmer approach to these things. You know, people who feed off of people pleasers is like social media in a nutshell, right? Hive cult-like mentality is not being your true self so that you can keep followers, so that the currency of your people collected underneath your mask of your profile can be your currency for social settings, right? Knight of Cups. Live by your heart, right? Politics create discord. That's literally all they do, is create separatism. It is like a magician doing many things with their hands. Sleight of the hand, so you're not seeing that the ball comes from the sleeve. Illusionist, mentalists. So it's time you cultivate where you're placing your behavior, because things will, if you avoid what you're truly possessing within, it will only fester until the boil pops, right? And then when the boil pops, it could be too late for you to realign, rebalance, take control of your situation, and live for what your truth is. You know, truth should be harmony, enjoyable, family activities on the weekend at the park. But if you're holding within things, you know, or say you're just enjoying life, right? And others in your environment are holding things within, your enjoying life will trigger chaos and disruption from those who are not enjoying their life, right? Insecure, grandiose, separatism. What if I were to tell you that it is all a plot? It is all a template that has been around since written history has started, in order to control masses and create empires and, bring opposition into the world so that people go against each other rather than live in harmony amongst each other. If we all lived in harmony amongst each other, what good would there be for political leaders and separatist mentality, wars, etc., right? Living in harmony with each other is like, let's say, a tribe lives on the other end of your continent, right? And on your continent, you grow these things very well. And on their continent, they grow these things very well. But neither can grow the other's products on theirs, right? So there's a fair trade, right? Harmony, right? So there's no need to raid, pillage, or steal, or kill to overpower. But without these oppositions, corporations can't exist. Without corporations, the earth is ever abundant. There's no need to worry because resources are ample. It is the hypnotism of influence and separatism and cult leaders and addictive, greed, insecure personalities that thrive on the discord of the public. So let's pull some cards and then I'll cut this short. Oh boy. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is a number of change. So we have tyrant energy trying to dilute the sun, when in truth there is nothing but balance. Your thought control is going to lead to you being able to see that you're connected to more than anything you can imagine. You're like the world tree embodied. You're able to pick up on things, right? You are a part of more than you understand. So you don't allow tyrannical mentalities that do not live in happiness to control your environment. You stay very calm, grounded, and centered, knowing that life will always produce fruits if you can keep your balance and appreciation of what life means to you. Being comfortable in your own mind is to know that you have seen many battles and you have came through. You know how to pick and choose your battles, and you know when to speak and when not to, when to observe. So, you're being called to look within or meditate on the interconnectedness of all things rather than the discord or separation, right? Let's say, for instance, if you are dealing with challenging energies right now, rather than see those challenging energies as separate from you, look within. What are you not being true to yourself about, and how do you remedy it, right? Remind yourself that there is no one in between you and what you believe your connection to spirit is, right? So in that case, there's only trust in what you pick up spiritually. What is your spiritual can be like a motivational compass that is very calm, soothing, and relaxing rather than forceful, opinionated, and projecting, right? Like, just for an instance, you need to be doing this because that's how it should be, right? Like, what kind of fucking motivation is that, right? Like, who wants to listen to that shit? Only somebody who is very fearful that they don't have the inner will to achieve something. Your connection to source is like, you've got this. Just keep walking and following your heart. Knight of Cups came out earlier. Following what feels true to you, and you will always find your way. Now, of course, when there are things that, energies that constantly try to start disruptions in you, separate yourself from them. You have that power and authority. You're not responsible for anyone's healing. You're not responsible for awakening anyone's mind. You're not responsible for making others ascend. You're not responsible for changing the world. You are responsible for changing your own energy. That's it. You are responsible for understanding the value of your life, the appreciation of your thoughts, intellect, your intelligence, how you rationalize reality. And in this responsibility to oneself, truly the only medicine is to really like connect into things that may not have a language, right? Trees, rocks, plants, animals, mountains, forests. These things restore your energy, right? And help you gently evaluate what is a disturbance in your life, what causes you discomfort, and what causes you joy, right? What brings you joy. Now, once this realization has come to you, it is up to you to remove the things or not entertain the things that make you feel uncomfortable, unhealthy, or like you're dimming yourself to appease the grandiosity of others who you may know already are fear projecting, fear spreading, rising themselves above others because of their insecurities. They need to, right? They need to be grandiose because they have done nothing to work through their inner self. So tap into nature, tap into tree meditation, connecting with trees, speak to birds, whatever the fuck, whatever. These things, animals don't have placebo effects, right? Animals don't have structured law and organization. Animals live off of love, food, survival, and freedom. So connecting to things that don't share the same worldviews as humans do, as we think we are the supreme beings of Earth, right? Which the only species on Earth that lives in discord and chaos is humans. I mean, willingly. Like, of course, in the animal kingdom, there are animals that survive off of eating other animals, right? That's also just a harmonious balance of nature. If a spider does not cast a web near your crops, right, then all of the pests can get into the crops, so they have a purpose. If a jaguar eats deer, or whatever version of deer lives near the jaguar, then the deer will overpopulate and throw nature out of balance. The same thing, the animal kingdom lives in harmony with nature, just as nature, if too many species of invasive plants survive, they start killing the local environment. So we need herbivore animals to maintain that balance. Humans are the only things that live out of nature, out of harmony, discord, competitiveness, jealousy, insecurities, greed, propaganda, manipulation, us versus them, one human race, yet so much to go against each other with, right? And if you're not gonna go against human beings as a whole, they'll give you a culture or a cult to identify with, to go against something, right? So out of alignment with nature. So this also tells me that the Emperor upright is someone very in control of their mind. They think clearly, they give good direction, they're supportive. Sun card in upright is total positive. Why? Because they live a happy, healthy life, right? They know how to lead the way because they lead in the sun, something beautiful. And that's probably what's missing in your life. You might be suppressing your own inner judgment, your own inner knowing to uplift. Sun card in reverse can be very toxic, grandiose energy. So bring back a little bit of appreciation and evaluate your thoughts. Connect to nature or see yourself as nature. Like a shamanic view doesn't worship animals, but we see the relationship of them. And they help us understand our natural forms by relating to animals in specific ways. They were never taught in school how to be, right? They just be. And yet humans being taught in school and taught in society and taught in religions and taught in political groups and hatred, opposition. Remember, history was written by the victors, so just because a victor is writing the story doesn't mean it's the truth. More often than not, the victor is romanticizing the glory when both parties were equally wrong, equally right. There really was no victor. There was just an unwillingness to diplomatically solve differences. And that those who won, instead of compromised, created the fables that we believe are fact. So what do we do from here? Oh, a tower is coming. So something you truly believe in is about to be just destroyed before your eyes for the greater good of your own survival, like your own peace. Once this false tower is destroyed, you have every ability to build on a solid ground and see the truth beyond the illusion. An ego death is coming. This reminds me of people who believe that the Simpsons are predicting things, right? When in truth, they know the script. And it's not a prediction. It is, hey, in 20 years, this will happen. And now that we've told you, you can't complain about it. So ancestors, bones, let's hear from you. You're releasing stubborn energy about losses. And in doing so, wait a minute. Now, you know, in tarot, a card can mean something until the other cards come to define it. You're refusing to accept something beautiful and harmonious because you're still holding in too much sadness and loss, right? And not really sadness, you're just jaded. Your inner compass is telling you to leave a situation that not only is hard on your emotions, but it makes you feel helpless and worthless, right? And you're refusing to walk away from this situation, be it a cult mentality, a political arrangement, community group, friends or family, or whatever is bothering you. You're refusing to see the gift of something good to come because you don't want to walk away from a situation. But the more you stay, the longer you feel in this helpless lack mentality. As soon as you choose you over that which keeps you suppressed, a lot of things will start flowing in your favor, like good things to come. You need to be honest in a situation where you're well versed in handling harsh truths, right? I think if you're watching this, you're more appreciative of harsh truths than you are lies and bullshit, right? So it's time to embrace what's coming, get it all out on the table so that you can progress. I see that this gives you a lot of anxiety and fear, knowing that this is to come. But it is the building blocks for your progress. Like it will stack up to something in your benefit. I see that you're tired of verbal and mental attacks for no cause. Pure lies, gossip, shit throwing, slander. And even if you have to start small, you're ready to start with what you have. And because of this, the universe is aligning in your favor and is waiting for you to let go. Empty your cup, all right? Heal from this situation and embrace hope. There is hope. Nine of Wands, 10 of Wands, 6 of Wands in reverse, the Hermit in reverse. So, it looks like you pride yourself on being a wounded individual. Like you enjoy carrying the problems of other people because it gives you some sense of purpose. This is a programmed behavior of society today. If you're constantly carrying the problems and oppositions of others, you cannot have a victory, or even go out into a battle successfully, confidently. This is the reason you do this, is because it keeps you from going within. And you enjoy this because if you go within, you have to look at your insecurities, and that is what's terrifying you. Six of Pentacles. Generosity. Generosity comes when you are in a place to be generous. When it is done just to carry the burdens and wounds of others, it keeps you from your own inner confidence and inner knowing, because that generosity defines you. You feel like a good person for doing good for others. When in turn, what I see here is you must do good for yourself at this time. So, Page of Wands represents taking a moment to pause, to find your inner spark and inspiration, so that you can move forward to see what will grow. Okay. Anything else? No, the cards are saying we are done. Was this message helpful? Let's see. Okay, well, did it have meaning? Yes. Okay, so I see that this message may have stung a little. It's just energies. It's just the drop of the cards. But it will have meaning. So in our times today, especially with since the rise of social media, it has brought in people to only find depth and purpose and meaning by ignoring what they need to face. Like this could be ignoring a tyrant, because by ignoring their narcissism and outrage and belittling of others, it makes you feel whole and complete. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. And what we end up having is people that run to anything that will distract them from the fact that maybe you're living with family, and what you really should be doing is, like the Four of Pentacles in here, saving up money, working a small job, or doing a small routine to build something that will structure your environment so that you can get out of the hostile, uncomfortableness. I shouldn't say hostile. It's uncomfortable as a grown person, man or woman, to live with your parents. You're under their rules when you're used to your freedom and adultship, right? So rather than distract yourself from the fact that this is a truth, look for ways to better your situation. Save money instead of going out, running to every event that posts themselves on Facebook or Instagram. Even if you're not spending money, it costs gas money to get there, does it not? Do you really have that if you're living with family or others? Is that something? All these things, I'm not judging. These are suggestions of, like, when I had to fucking live with my parents when I lost my house, right? And I had to try and balance my money as much as I possibly could But in the other sense, I also was trying to find a way to earn more money that ended up costing me more money than anything. So pulling out of that and saying, you know what, I can only do what I can do, and the rest is beyond my control, helped me mature a little bit. Whatever the situation may be, even on a message that stings, there's truth in it. Because, number one, myself, I don't fucking have time for lies and bullshit. And I can see it. And if I see it, I immediately remove myself from it, because what ends up happening, it's not because of a grandiose or a better feeling. It's because when you surround yourself with lies, distortion, illusion, chaos, you become it. And we've all worked very hard to become authentically ourselves, right? So it's not a holier than thou thing to live in truth and step away from addictive, fear-spreading, separatist mentality, lies, gossip, and betrayal. Because if you stay, you become it. If you swim in a pool, you come out clean, right? If you swim in a sewer reclamation center, you come out smelling, right? So it's only natural. So hopefully this message helped you make some better decisions in your day-to-day. Let's thank Saturn and Neptune for bringing down this cosmic rain for whatever chaos you had to endure or that went on around you. I'm kind of seeing you as like this monk in the middle of a chaotic city, right in the middle of the street with thousands of cars zipping by. Like, let's say India, right? And you're the monk sitting in the middle of the street, like, not even meditating, just like, because you've learned to separate yourself from the chaos. So, hope this was helpful. Thank you for tuning in. If this found meaning, hit like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will be able to continue to bring messages. Not that what I have is above or better than whatever you possess, but I find that when we hear what we are experiencing from more than just ourselves, we can understand that, okay, these are my energies, this is the other energies, and it's not just me. Wow, the stars mirror it, the plant kingdom mirrors it, the animal kingdom mirrors it, pop culture mirrors it, political views mirror it, communities mirror it, friends, families, and lovers mirror it. So, okay, this helps me direct my compass. So when I share, it's not because I have something that you don't. Anyone is able to tap into this. Just take control of your mind and your emotions. Slow your mentality and body and reaction to distractions enough to see and observe the truth. Eyes to see, ears to hear. And so I share messages because, like myself, when I have a funky energy coming in and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Wow, why do I feel this? And then I go about my day and it's in many more forms. I understand, oh, okay, well, maybe I should go within, check the charts, pull some tarot, go watch some birds. You know, you can learn a lot by watching flocks of birds. Bats. I did see a lot of bats last night, and I saw the hawks, the night hawks, coming to eat them. Had a great time at a park with the movies on the green with grandchildren, my grandbaby and my son and daughter, and my girlfriend. It was beautiful. Maybe these are things you should put more focus into to help pull back from this endless pursuit of feeling good by taking on others' burdens, right? Generosity can only come from a person who is in good standings to be generous, right? If you're holding down all these oppressed emotions for others, you're not in no position to be a generous person. So that's what I have for you today. Take time to pause and reflect till you find the light, and embrace the mutual connections that are healing over these chaotic, overbearing, egotistical sorrows that make you feel suppressed. Peace be with you, and I will see you next time.